Overnight success is just long-term discipline becoming visible. I'd like you to take a moment to think about that and what that means to you. To me, is that nothing worthwhile comes easily. Those who that we see in the greatest lights, actors, influencers, musicians, athletes, that success that they have, even business leaders, didn't come overnight. It came through months, years, maybe even decades of hard work, dedication, and discipline to a particular goal, which they define as success for them. Um, and so that same mind frame has to be instilled daily into each one of us to get to where we want to get to in life, to understand that success has trials and tribulations that you have to go through. But the key of that is staying disciplined and getting through those trials and tribulations and keeping your eye on the prize of that defined success of yours. Um, for me, as I think about my life where I'm at now, it could easily, a lot of times I think that it has happened overnight like this, right? Where I currently sit professionally and personally. But when I inventory the things that I've gone through to get here, it didn't happen overnight, right? There was a lot of things that I had to go through and trials and tribulations and ebbs and flows and getting, shoved into the ground and getting myself back up to get to the point I am today. From being a collegiate athlete and the hours and dedication I had to put into training and practice, understanding schematics and being benched and getting through that and having that I don't give a fuck attitude to get back in there and get things done, or to moving to the military as an officer and going through some of the toughest training known out there, and then being put in these leadership positions where you learn and you learn in front of everybody, right? But those situations craft me and mold me into being well-rounded and a successful individual there. Are going to top tier university for my MBA, which great organization got into it, right? But there was a lot of other organizations, or I would say universities, that I got a no to, right? Um, but those helped define me and understanding where I needed to be and where I wanted to go and crafting my story. And then even moving into professional life, working at one of the best consulting firms in the world, working in one of the best fintech companies in the world. Um, it took a lot to get into these organizations. And even though these are a couple yeses that I received hundreds of no's from other companies to get me to this point. And then more so into real estate investing and the deals that I've done throughout my life. And I've lost money on deals. I've gotten into many bad deals. But through all that, I've learned how to craft my approach to get to the success that I have in those lanes. And so I say all that to say that you have to understand that we as individuals have to understand that to get to where we want to get to success, it's not going to happen overnight. And for it to be worth value, we have to go through those trials and tribulations and struggles. And so with that, I'll leave you with three great quotes that I like that attest to this topic, and then a call to action at the end. Number one is when I talk to people about my 10 life goals of mine, or 10 guiding principles of mine, right? The last one of that is enjoy the journey. Because just like a roller coaster, life will have its ups and downs, ebbs and flows, high points and low points. But at the end of the day, and the end of that ride, that's what makes that ride enjoyable and memorable. Without it, it would be dull and the story wouldn't be great. And so when you think about life and success, to get to the success, roller coaster of success, you will have to go through the ebbs and flows, ups and downs, trials and tribulations to meet that end state goal of yours. The second one is a mindset thing. And so this quote is that most people don't fail. They just slowly abandon themselves. And so when you don't have that discipline instilled in you, you will lose yourself because you're not staying dedicated and glued to that goal of yours to be successful. And the last one that I have is extremely impactful and has meant a lot to me. And so this one is imagine that you spoke to the creator of the universe before birth to pick the person who you want to become. You say to him, I want to be the most courageous. And the creator replies and says, well, son, I will give you monsters to terrify you so that you can conquer them. You then say, well, I want to be patient. Well, then I will make you work harder and longer so you can learn to wait. I want to be wise. And the creator replies, then I will give you failures that will crush your spirits so you can learn to value judgment. You then say, this sounds like a tough life. Can you just give me a good life? And the creator replies, just like we measure the quality of a blacksmith by the strength of his steel, I measure you by what you are at the end, not the fire and the hammer it took to make you. A good life isn't a life that's easy. A good life is a life that makes you a good person and a strong individual. And that, my son, is a hard life. And so my call to action to you as we close out this video is that I challenge you to sit down, define a goal or define something that you deem is successful. And then within that, itemize the things that are needed to get to that and brainstorm some of the trials and tribulations you'll cross to get there. I want you to then take that paper. I want you to hang it up somewhere. Put it on your mirror in your bathroom. Put it in your office in front of your computer. Put it on the fridge. Whatever you can see it daily, and look at that daily. That way you understand this is my goal of success and what I define as success, and this is how I'm going to get there. And these are all the things that I will have to go through to get there. And I'm okay with that. I'm okay with embracing that. And that repetition will change your thought process. That repetition will help you understand that success doesn't come overnight. But the more that I keep it front of mind and stay disciplined to attacking everything that needs to be done for me to get to that goal, that will allow me to get there. And that will be my discipline coming to life.